Hello, everyone. And so, what we have is a Q question and answer and think tank session here on this Christmas Eve, Christmas night, I guess you would say it. Um, so, I anticipate a small audience, which will be great because this is an important subject and it would be great only to have a few at this point, so that is great. And I'm kind of messed up a bit because I've been divinely working all day again, uh, as with every day, more or less. So it's great, and season's greetings and happy holidays to all of you out there, wherever you may be. So, and I see one join, Griselda. Ah, no, there we go. Rose, Artie, Helen, Griselda. Woo! Hello, everyone. This is and Tanya. So, you know what? Many of you that's been following along, uh, in this most glorious time where the people actually have the power, uh, we have such a very beautiful, huge potential and capability to take humanity forward, to advance us and all of humanity, of course, very rapidly, and to transition humanity into a civilized state and out of the savagery we're in. And when I said civilized state, I don't mean a state. I mean a state of existence. So, over the years, let's look at it really. I mean, if governments and world leaders over the years really had, humanity's best interests at heart and were truly representatives of the people, very simply, there would be no lack, there would be no poverty. We would not have seen any of this because we would have seen everyone living in comfort. And that is humane, to live in comfort, as we all know. You would not see beggars on the street, and you would not see all of the things in society that sickens you, and even what's happening now, ridiculous measures taking away even more of your freedom. Uh, you know, if you look at it, we, the people, have the power. We do. We are the creators. And having said this, I'd like to use the number right now of about, uh, with my estimations and what I know and what I'm given, there's about 2 billion of humanity that is awakened to a sufficient degree that they've had enough. So, having said that, that's a staggering number when you look at 2 billion of the population, and when you look at the representatives of all of the people globally is perhaps less than a million, and perhaps only in 100,000 or so. So when you look at 2 billion people that have had enough of the way things were run, and and to know that the ones that were running things before, that at any moment they could have created abundance in the blink of an eye, that you would have no starvation, no poverty, that everyone would have an abundance, but they chose not to do that. So, having said that, everyone knows this. let's uh, let's see. We got some questions from you. So, we have the new people's new monetary system that if I need to, I will hit it and lead it up. I'm already taking the initiative on doing that. Anyone that's following my Facebook timeline, we're beginning to create the awareness. and just quickly educating the public on it. So, so having said this, and thank you, Kersey. Having said this, we all have the ability as divine beings to live in abundance in this reality now for ourselves. However, for even though I have everything I need, which is very little, and I always can manifest, this mission is not about me. I'm upon the surface to assist all of humanity. And day in and day out, I can manifest what I need all the time for myself. But this is not about me. So if I can manifest every day and walk down the street and see someone begging for money or a child that is sick, or if I go online and see people starving in poverty, no, that's not right and it's not good, and we have the power to change it, and we have the power now. You've given centuries to governments to do this, and they have not done it. And in the blink of an eye, they could have done it. And it's all about the ridiculous money and controlling it. So we have the opportunity to just throw that whole book, the whole thing away. And we have the opportunity as a people, by everyone supporting and just consenting to it, to uh, put into place very rapidly a new free open-ended monetary system. So very quickly it can be done and implemented. All it requires is essentially letting people know that they have the option of joining with the rest of humanity, to just support this with their consent and do not support the old system. And very rapidly, once it's supported, it's a done deal. So we can do it very quickly. Okay. So, having said that, do we have any questions and answers on it? And getting back to what I was saying, Kersey, yeah, we can manifest everything for ourselves, but we're here upon the surface for a divine reason. And I can assure you, we have off world assistance with this from the higher realms and from the galactics. But who's ever watching this and don't believe that, that's okay as well, because the power is within the people upon the surface to do this. We do not really require any off world assistance or divine assistance. You are the source to do this here now as creators, and everyone's been divinely prepared for this time. So it's time to get it off of the ground, if you will, and get it rolling. Okay. Hello, everyone. It seems like there's a few on here tonight. So, hello, everyone. So, any questions? Uh, Thank you, Shauna. You say, does crypto play into this idea? Uh, no, no. Uh, you could you could say, no, I don't wish to go there. What we wish to do is bypass all of these systems. Those were transitory steps to get us to this potential now. And the potential now is to create just the one world currency, but by the people. This is not a new world order by the dark cabal. This is the new world order where you have billions of people that are it. They support it. So this is a thing where the people of the world have the full potential to do this. So, we can use what's already in what's already developed. the quantum financial system. It's all routed around the planet from financial centers globally, and it's a very beautiful system already there that we can tap into. And that system, the electronic and digital system, it, it's already here to do that, very quickly. Whatever access it would be to the system, like a card would be the most best way, the plastic card, uh, just to for whatever minor purchases you would need. So the main frame is already here. It's already done, the quantum financial system from the banks. So having said this, what I'm proposing, once it has the support of the people, like every politician and every banker would be crazy not to support what this is. It's the total freedom. And if they don't support it, it very quickly singles them out for their underlying intent and their agenda, which is not it's not in line with the people's interests. So it makes it even so much more easier if you see them not supporting it. It makes it easier for us. Okay, so let's instead of me rambling, I see Amy, and Karen Michael, just curious as to what you are smoking. I'm smoking natural tobacco, is what I'm smoking. Thank you. Amy, she says, we are entering a third lockdown now in Israel. What can we do to change the collective decision? Keep informing your people on the new monetary system in the people's law. Spread the awareness, while you're sitting there, the same as everyone. Now's the time to be online. If it resonates with you, begin sharing about the new monetary system and creating that awareness. And, very once we have enough, it begins to uh, take a huge emergence within the society. And this is what we do. So it ripples out. Once there's enough there, boom, then it becomes what it is. So spread the awareness now in these early days about it, and check online where I'm at. I put out a rough draft a little bit ago again. And it is this simple, people. It is this simple. And we have the power to do it now. This is how simple it can be done. It only requires the global support. It does not even require the majority of the population to do it. However, with current circumstances on the planet, very rapidly you're going to get the support for it because, again, people just have had enough. So, so Scott says, what's the difference between your proposed monetary system and those already around, like communism, socialism, democracy? What happens in this system if people start to get greedy and want more? Well, the system, Scott, if you looked what I proposed, within the system, there is no way to be greedy. There is no profit. This is a very quick transitional system that gives everyone instantly a bunch of money just to get what you need, get comfortable as this transitions forward. So with this, it's an open area where the money is coming from. It's created from us, from an unlimited supply. So there is nothing material that backs it or needs to be. And for one to have, let's say, for one wanting to have more money, it would be nonsensical with what this is. So you don't have greed, and you know the old labels you call communism, socialism, democracy. Yeah, maybe we won't. I won't even use those labels and just say it's a global community is the best way to look at it, and just get rid of the old ideology and concepts and the stringent societal structures. We can simplify this. As I said, take the whole book, Scott, and just throw it away. We are the people, we are the creators. We can make this so simple. And it really is very simple. So there is no greedy with this. There is no ownership. Everyone owns everything. You know, there is respect of your individual home and these sort of things, but all of industry is collectively, globally owned by the people. And with all of industry, where there's no profit and no gain, there is no requirement for any form of a greed or wanting more. It's used as society to advance forward. So you only attribute the focus and the work energy, what is required, towards what advances humanity forward. You know, for example, out of the financial system, uh, the entire stock markets and all of that illusion that does not exist. So you have many coming out of that industry that are able to uh, share the workload. And once you have that, when you get rid of, let's say, a huge financial industry, and you share what needs to be done to the to quickly transition everything forward, then what occurs is that you have, instead of needing to work 40 hours a week, you can have everyone, by sharing the work, maybe only working 10 hours a week. So you can see very quickly how, when you get rid of the irrelevant industries like the financial industry, you only need a small administrative industry. And mind you, all of the technology is done here now. For example, the Toronto Stock Exchange 10 years ago or more, it was just a computer screen in there. Where, you know, in the old days, you'd have brokers right on the floors, you know, hollering and screeching and trading paper stocks. But in that stock exchange, there's only a computer, and I've been in there. And so it shows you, you know, the technology takes the place of so many jobs. So you don't need all of that. So I'll go on to another one. Romana, hi Romana. She says they're in a lockdown there in Canada, I believe, Montreal area, Romana, and she's getting tired of the dictators. You know, again, while everyone's in a lockdown, take the liberty and the opportunity of this time to get informed on what I'm putting out there and what others are also putting out there in lines of this, and spread the awareness to anyone that wants to listen. And again, it's very simple. The way to give it to anyone is just say, "Hey, psst, you know, do you want this uh, open-end, unlimited money, no debt, no tax, or do you want to stay with the governments where, like in the U.S., they'll give you $600 a month stimulus package or what have you? You know, what do you choose? Unlimited money, everything you need, more a comfortable living beyond your basic necessities. So do you want to join all together, all of us people get together, which is 99% of the world population, and just create our own money and get rid of the banks and the way they were. So, you know, it's a no-brainer. And where they don't need to work so much, you know, you need your food, and your essential industries. However, again, when you began to get rid very rapidly of these irrelevant jobs that are out there, and it's not only the financial industry, there's so many more that are not needed or required to move humanity forward. So you have a huge workforce that only needs to work a few hours a week, and very quickly we take everything forward. So, it is a very simplified thing, and we have the full potential and the full capacity to do it. So really, it's no brainer. All that, that I would need is the support of uh, the majority of the global population, which you would get so quickly. I know how to myself to do this because it's so simple, but I'm not by myself. My contacts are with ones that were in the banking, ones in IT, uh, just so many areas of all of the professional world. And very quickly, I can call upon these ones, but I'm also in touch with them. And I've had in the past discussions with these. So this is not a fly by night, one guy doing this. The contacts are all there, is what I'm saying. And they're all divinely in place. And again, I am not alone. I'm much more than just a human. And I would not even be here speaking to you tonight if that wasn't so. But again, just say if I am just a human, I have many contacts, and this concept with the power of the people, it just overpowers all of the governments and all of the banks, that they have no choice but to submit and comply. It's the way that very quickly it works when you have the support of the people. So I'll scroll a little bit further. So spread the awareness and the education, spread this. What I share online, spread. You want more information? I try to keep it pretty simple, and you can find the things online on Facebook because I just publicly put it all out there. Everyone share it, and please go with it. And get the awareness out there at least that this is very possible. And I put out the call again tonight for all global organizations and groups that are interested in this. We have the opportunity now of all of the groups that worked so hard for years, the sovereign groups, other groups doing humane things, setting everything up and planting the seeds. There's so many out there. We just need to bring them all together under one umbrella and spark this and shoot it off. But we also need the people informed and aware that they have this option and what is out there. So each one can play a role by sharing it with your family, sharing it online or to people, whatever you feel to do. And you can also do leaflets, and pass it around. It's pretty simple. The whole thing, for a draft or just a guideline can be written on really on a piece of paper. It's that simple. So you can also say, I'm campaigning. This is a simple platform, and I'm not the only one, and there's uh, many organizations out there that will support this fully, many professionals, and it's already beginning to take more of a shape. So it's very real and it is happening. Okay. Shauna Wilson asked, does it have a name? Well, just what I'm putting out now, the people's monetary system. It's global. Global people's monetary system is a good way uh, to have it for now. So letting it know that the global people support it, all of the Chinese, the Indian people, North America. So you put it global, all inclusive, because it is all people of the world. So very quickly you get the numbers. Just today, I put out a request for ones from India, China, and Russia to begin putting some of this material out to their people as well. Get it out there, get it on the street. Let's look at India, all of the huge protests that have been going on there. These Indian people are ready for this. And now is the time to do it. So it's very simple. I will lead this up if it needs to be, but um, with all of however many colleagues around the world that it may take to get this structure. If it takes thousands, that's what it is, and everyone combines together because this project is not about self. It's for all of humanity and advancing them forward and taking them out of the senseless misery that all of the governments and leaders caused uh, upon people. So this is liberation, this is freedom, and this is your abundance. So you can choose everyone to have abundance and harmony, or you can choose to stay in the old world and, you know, stay in the monotonous routine of eating, getting up, going to work, coming to home, going to bed, and getting back up in the morning and doing that, for 40, 60, 70 years. You can keep doing that. It's your choice if you want to do it. And also in the new system, it's your choice. There'll be a minimum of, let's say, uh, to start off, 10 hours a week or so. Or, maybe some of the old jobs will still be there starting off that we need. We're ones, if they feel good, work 30 or 40 hours a week, but it's not a compulsory thing. It's going to be by all free choice and free will, but there will be, a minimum to maintain a little bit of control over it because everyone needs to contribute. So it's actually very, very simple. Uh, Amy, Amija, yeah, PM me and we can and get more information out. Shauna Wilson, where can you read about it on my timeline? And at least, and hopefully many other places as we began to ripple it outward further and further. There's been in the past some interjections that went out there into the public domain. So there has been a an awareness already out there about this, created to some level. So it's just getting more informed on it. And of course, you're here watching this. So on my Facebook timeline or message me, I have this information as well as others. So thank you for that. Ivica says somebody has to print that money. No, this is a digital money, and to distribute it around the banking, the electronic digital banking system is all in place. I mean, this is how your credit cards work now. Your banks, your ATMs. So uh, there's an administration that will just administrate and take care of this and distribute it everywhere. So there will be ones, you say, who is going to do that, Ivica? There will be the ones that is in the banking industry, that has these qualifications and the experience and education to do it. Like we're speaking all of humanity, and you have all walks of life, that contribute to this. So it's it's carrying it on, but just from a free aspect where everyone has the free opened-end money. You have no mortgages, you have no debt, you have no taxes. There is no profit or gain. It's only that money will be used to keep transitioning humanity forward very quickly to really a place that, and no one really needs money at this point. So you just transition out of it because you have everything. And that comes though in the future. But to keep it simple now, this is one of the first stepping stones to do it, to get it here and get moving from there. Why? To put everyone comfortable out of a place of lack. The QFS, what about the QFS, the quantum financial system? We can just, that is the people's anyway, so you can just monetarily energize that the way that we wish. And this is the people's again. You don't need any assets to back it. You don't need any material things. This is an open end money that the people create out of thin air. Just the same way the banks and your governments were creating money. Like they did not, they created it out of thin air. They do not have material things to back it. They just created it when they wanted to create it. But what occurred is when they created it, they kept it all mostly for themselves and said, "Oh, I'll give you a little bit," And what we're doing is no, everyone is equal, and you're all comfortable with it. So we use money as a very good transitional tool to advance humanity forward, where it's a mainstay of society. But what we'll do by the people controlling the money, then everyone has enough, and we just keep creating what we need during the transitional period going forward. So it's good. So Belinda says, so until the impure are fully purged, we have a wait, it seems. Belinda, really, we don't need to wait. If you take your time just to quickly look at what what I am purveying now, and like what would you choose? Really, it's a no-brainer even for a child. And you have the opportunity to stand with others to create your freedom in the blink of an eye, your full, comfortable freedom from money and lack, and to be able to see all of the children in all of the other countries uh, enjoying themselves. You don't need to see them starving, begging on the streets, and in poverty, not enough clothes. No, it's very quickly. It's a no-brainer. Any human that has a heart and a soul, very quickly, it's a no-brainer. It's a no choice. uh, Karen McKenney asks, how are the governments going to be taken down? They are moving ahead with their agenda. Well, the way the governments are going to be taken down is that don't even look at them and don't be concerned with them. We have this huge thing that we only need the support of the people. And once the people are supporting this new monetary system and simplified people's law, the governments, they just continue to implode and go to the wayside. Their agenda, you need to realize that everyone has the individual choice. So none of their agenda works against anyone. So, and very quickly, it's taking, actually, the government's agenda is it created this perfect opportunity and potential for humanity to take this quantum shift forward. By what they did is expose them more, and it simplified things for us that was put upon the surface to assist with this huge transition of humanity. So it's perfect. It's divinely perfect what they do, and I love it every day when they say, "Oh, okay, airliners, or airline stewardess, you got to wear diapers." These sort of things. I mean, it's making it so obvious and so blatant, and making it so easy for ones to, make choices. So, also, you're seeing like with the, yeah, it's instead of getting off track, I'll stay on track. So, Sonia Jacob, yes, unlimited money. Why create a limited supply when all of us, the people, actually we can create, altogether the money that we want for the planet. So we create our own money, and we tell the government, the politicians, and the banks, hey, if you want to come here, and that's your choice. And really, for any politician or banker, it's a no-brainer as well. They can still live in their luxury, but they'll be living in a luxury where everyone around the world are also in, a luxury and a comfortable position. Not a luxury by having all these material things, but living a free life from monetary control, and having the food and all of their basic needs, covered. So it's it really is beautiful, and all it takes is the support of the people. So cast your votes, get them all in there, join together, but join your votes together with the people and your support. And this keeps getting bigger, and a lot of the other things, the bigger this gets, the more support and the more people that supports it and keep your energy on this. We create it and we make it so, and you don't need to be concerned with the lower things that are out there, because this replaces these little things very quickly. Where your focus and where your energy goes, that's what you energetically keep in existence and support. But at the same time, we create this new thing, we put our energy in it, and this is the dominant thing, which is the people's free monetary system, the unlimited monetary system, and the simple laws and all of your God-given rights. So it's very simple. You're welcome, Scott. Yeah, Linda says, I'm out there with boots on the ground in crazy Calgary. I have not yet been arrested or fined. Yeah, you go, girl. In Calgary, like, that was sick to see, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. That young guy in Calgary, the police beat up or whatever they did to him. He was just out playing hockey, with some friends, and just because he didn't have a mask on or something, like, that is absolutely preposterous, and it's not acceptable. So, this is why it's so pathetic what those police did, but it's in their mentality. See, they cannot even think straight. One of the things, you had these police wearing the masks, and it deprives oxygen, and it's like they become intoxicated and they become disoriented, and they are actually a real threat and a danger to the public, because they become like controlled robots, that they can't think for themselves. And you have governments are saying, okay, get out there, start finding these ones without masks. So It creates a huge sick problem. And all of these police that are doing this, they have families, and they might be doing it in this now, but uh, in the very near future, what they've done, they're going to pay with their shame for what they did. So many of them are waking up and realizing this. Like in Ontario, I put out the post about some police. They said no, uh, they're not enforcing it anymore because they know how ridiculous it is as well, and their consciousness in their heart will not allow them. So any any police or military that are out there that are in their heart or the consciousness, they're not going to be doing these ridiculous things. And having said this, anyone that's been fined for not wearing masks or what have you, you don't have to pay that money. It's illegal for them to charge a fine upon uh, your restriction of right, what they're trying to put upon you. But I don't wish to complicate it. But all of these fines, that's their money. We create this whole system. It doesn't matter. Their money becomes valueless, worthless. And Romana, she says she works in a hospital, might be put in the crazy ward for speaking my mind, she says, but I do anyways. Well, what's occurring, Romana? The crazy ward in what we're seeing is going to be for the ones, that, let's say, they're not awakened. It's for the minority. So you're in the majority. So yeah, keep speaking your mind, and then there are no crazy wards in the future, like it was. They tried to lock up conspiracy theorists. They called them ones speaking their truth. It's because they were afraid of them. But so many are speaking their truth now. It cannot be suppressed, and this is why humanity is so far right now. It's because of that. You're seeing it everywhere. They cannot be censored. By word of mouth, your backyard barbecues, the word just spreads. And you have four friends, they each have four friends, that's 16. Then them 16 have four friends, there's 48. So very, or no, 64. Yeah. So you can see how quickly word spreads. So it doesn't matter their attempts at censoring online, because the spoken word is also out there and they could never control that. So it doesn't matter if they do everything on the internet in the past to suppress ones, they couldn't do it. And it just, the more they suppress by censoring, the more blatant that it makes for everyone. And it's a beautiful thing. I loved that they censored everything because it made it so much easier for us. And as I said, yeah, you just by word of mouth get it around, whatever way. So same with this new monetary system, by word of mouth, everyone you come into contact, if they're open, share it with them, say, hey, here's what the people of the world are beginning to do. You have a choice, get informed, keep your ears open. And if you think you'd like to be a part of it, tell others and inform them also of the options that they have. So it takes Karen says, it will be a beautiful thing when it all comes to be. And each one must play their part with this, put your support into it. So it's not a complacency of sitting around and waiting for it to work. The quicker it gets done, quicker, when everyone begins spreading the concept out there, the potential, then very rapidly, um, it becomes known, and very quickly we bring it into fruition. And thank you very much, Linda Winger. So, yeah, she's from Calgary, and thank you. I've met Linda personally. She says she was in banking for 40 years, and forgive them for they not know what they do. And she's not there anymore. And there are, I don't know the number, but there are many more that was in the banking and financial world as well. Some are still in there, I will say. Some that I know, and also there's ones that have come out of there. They know how it worked in the markets, stock markets. They have come out of that. And they part of their divine work was going in to see how it was all rigged and controlled and corrupt. And those ones were into it deep, like myself. Part of what I had to do was to go into it deep, to see all of the corrupt dynamics of it. So when I speak about things, I can assure you, with all of the financial markets, stock markets, and what have you, that I've been into every aspect of it, with regulators, politics, every bit of it. And I do know what I'm speaking about because I was in there, and very deep. And I was attacked by the bankers, and even I would say the Canadian and U.S. Government in the beginning. so, so I do know all about what I'm speaking about. But I also have contacts, with so many others behind the scenes, ex police officers and um, investigators, the ones that know the truth. So we're not a fly by night bunch of hoodlums. We're actually have the contacts to, the professionals that were the ones that were inside, their expertise. They know how things work as well as I do, and we know how to simplify things. So we have all of the intelligence and information that we need, but we have the added aspect is the higher consciousness, and also we do have other assistance off world, but we don't really need that. We have everything here now, and what we have is these beautiful ones that was in all of industry. They are awakened and have the higher consciousness, and let me tell you, nothing matches the higher consciousness. Like all those in politics, they're no match uh, for the higher consciousness in creating this new world. So it's imminent what is occurring, and now is the time to do it. And we're doing it. So Christina Cowherd said, "Who has the plan?" Well, the people has the plan. I'm purveying it outward. What's simple? She says, is a sovereign. God is her supply. She says she is money. And she says, let's shift. We need to create a new structure. Yes, exactly, Christina. And she says, how do we do this? Well, I've just said it. Please watch all of this video and what I put out. Um, you say, I want support. How can I support you? Well, Christina, we don't. Uh, what we need, what we require now is just the support by each one, spreading the awareness out there, and keep connected with what we're doing at constructing the secure framework for to distribute more of the education and awareness, so you can support and assist with this to get it out there what we're doing. And so uh, this is what you can do to help. The same as everyone. This is for all of the people, and this is what we're doing this for. The name is Freedom. Yes, Romana, thank you. Christina's asking, what organizations have you contacted? I more so just put out a generic request right now. Let's say in the past, I've been working on things, for almost a decade. Let's say I have connections that have been made over those years that I can call on very quickly. Um, and these, let's say these groups and contacts, they already knew that this was kind of like coming. So, um, right at this point, not really right at this point have I contacted any organizations. What I actually did is put the word out for them to get into contact with me. So thank you. And Christina, if you are one, please get in touch. We can talk and get this distributed outward further. So what I'm doing right now, I had anticipated that the organizations would have already been taking this construct and concept forward. Uh, Recently, I've seen an initiation towards that, and I have contacted some organizations, but no reply yet. So, also, what I wish to say is, you're part of an organization and this resonates, or if you know some, get in touch with I. And I have no fear, and I will lead this if I need to, but it needs to get done, and let's spread the awareness. And, I'm happy to just play a role with a huge a huge administration of all of us, to do this for humanity. I don't anticipate to do it alone, and I know I don't need to. But what I'm saying, to get it initiated and to get it started, that I'm here and I'm standing and whatever we need to do, because it's for all of us. It's for our families. It's for our children that we have here, and all of the generations to come. And now is the time to do it, and the time is ripe to do it. Stella McDonald asks, how about the UK? What do you mean? If this is like a global thing, so distribute the concept around. Anyone watching here tonight, distribute the concept and the option of what I said. Uh, Free technology, David. Yeah, see, we own, actually, see, again, all of the people upon the planet actually own everything. It would not exist if it wasn't for the people, and including technology and all of this. It is free because we own it. And when we create the unlimited monetary system, all of your services also are free. Your technology, whatever else you may need, your um, fossil fuels, this will be free because we own the industry as well. We own all of this, but this is going to be very quickly transitioned into the new technologies, and we're already seeing, this come out. There's many advancements that are already here with new technology. So these focus can be put on these new technologies, plus there'll be other technologies introduced as well. So once the people have the control of the planet, it opens up the door for so many things that you've never perhaps even imagined or thought of. And for all of you watching, vibration is so important. And simply how being happy is so important. To keep it simple, you walk into a room where everyone's happy, it's a heightened energy and it makes you feel happy. So if you have every man, woman, and child around the planet happy because they don't have to worry about money, they have no stress, there is no debt, that they have everything that they require to be comfortable and happy, that is a huge upliftment in the vibration. It's a monumental shift which changes everything very rapidly in good ways. Ivica says, how will this happen if QFS is already in place and GESARA plan is approved by a galactic federation? GESARA and NESARA are kind of like, they were transitional steps to get the information out there and the concepts. But let me say, GESARA and NESARA are getting kind of primitive, and that we can skip that step and go to what I'm saying. And the quantum financial system is the system to look at that we can distribute instantly and provide and service humanity with a digital means of monetary exchange that will work very quickly. So this system is in place, and we can just piggyback that very simply. And so just watch what occurs if each other's. We don't need to go into things like GESARA, NESARA, and RV. They were important to have them created to and advanced to such a level, but it doesn't mean that we need to take these to fruition, because they have now become primitive, where you have, as a result of what has occurred in the last year, you have the people that are able to accept a full unlimited monetary system and a freedom system. So you no longer need to have what you had before. And also with the legal systems, where they have been all nullified and void by what the government's been doing over the last year, it has made all of their judicial systems have no value, because they compromise them all themselves through their actions, and they cannot justify the violations that they made to all of the constitutions. So if the Constitution was supposed to have priority to protect your rights, but where they showed that they ignored that altogether and began violating your rights, it also showed you that what was written in constitutions, that what was written by governments and what have you, that it is no protection at all. So in these actual times, what occurs is that each one has their God given rights, which takes a priority. And it's also written, even in their international laws, that in times of tyranny, what was performed, by every government that imposed these things, well, then it becomes the people's obligation to stand up and to distribute the people's law. So, in actuality, what all of the countries have done around the world is they have incriminated themselves. And when they did this, it enacted the people's law. The people's law is the supreme authority. The only thing with it is that the people needed to become informed on this people's law. But over, the last decade or more, many behind the scenes have become informed, many organizations were made, many groups were made, and they are knowledgeable in the people's law. And they know that it has supremacy over all existing man-made and written laws that were made by governments and legislators and all of this. So, see, the problem becomes with international law, which it's supposed to safeguard as well the individual human rights and the declarations of rights. When that is compromised, there is no one to enforce it, especially when it's compromised by the governments, because they are the ones that are supposed to enforce international law. But when that is compromised, as they did, then what occurs? Automatically the power is shifted to the people, and the people are the law in these serious times. And this is what has occurred. The people are actually the law. They just need to be informed of it, and that's what's occurring. The governments and has no law. They have no authority. It's the people that has authority. So when your God-given rights are jeopardized, then whoever does that, in this case, the governments, it puts them in a place of incrimination where they are actually the criminal, and at that time, the people's law supersedes all of it and has the supremacy. Christina says we have to rid Gaia of the swamp first before we go completely digital. Too many that are still corrupt. Not really. No, no. Once again, you don't need to put all the focus there, Christine. See, one's become, with their focus, they get distracted by, think they need to get down to clean all of this up. A lot of this is cleaned up by taking the offensive and creating the new, and by focusing and creating this very rapidly, these are taken care of. But when you go down and you get into that, you keep it alive and you don't have advancement. So be very wise and wary to the tricks. I mean, if you're looking at a lot of these corrupt ones, if they only did monetary crimes, that has no relevance to the future, and it becomes a waste of time to try to uh, put a justice against to what they did. If you want to keep in that game, it'll keep you looped there and it'll keep you stagnant. If they only created monetary crimes, they become irrelevant when you create this where everyone has money. So it just let them do whatever they want and don't waste time getting caught up into that. And very quickly, it doesn't matter how many were corrupt, especially with the monetary system. You just have the people supporting this concept and idea, and then very quickly it takes care of the corrupt ones, and it doesn't matter what they did. We're focused on creating the new. So things in the past, it with money and crimes with that, it doesn't matter. If it's just asking, do we need some kind of people's referendum to approve this plan? You don't need approval on the plan, but you can have a worldwide support, a referendum, yeah, it's just to assign your support. But it doesn't need approval because the people are actually at the top ranks of power and you are joining the top ranks of power. So it doesn't need approval from any entity because the people themselves are the approval. You are above governments, the Vatican, the Jesuits, because you are the people that have the power when you combine your consent. So you don't need approval from anyone. Good questions. Thank you. And, I'd like to take this moment. I've been on here for an hour. I did not anticipate, such a such a wide audience tonight, and I'm very grateful, to see this interest, and it is very important. And thank you. And I've been working upon these things constantly, and it's not for myself that I'm doing this. As I said earlier, I can manifest. If I was only human, I could have been back in Canada manifesting like I always did things for myself. But this is not about me. This is about the entire planet, and it's also about my divine mission that was bestowed upon me and what I agreed to when I came here. So uh, again, this is about the upliftment of all of humanity, put them out of the savagery and into a more harmonious level. And this is why I am upon the surface to do this. And as I said, this is not about myself. It's about all of humanity. So thank you. You know, um, David, you got a good. I'll read what David Middlemiss says. Excuse me. He says it must be set into a framework of free generating natural systems and claiming our indigenous sovereignty. Now, when we look at sovereignty and indigenous sovereignty, we people are all one. And, you know, we are all indigenous to somewheres. However, in this time, we all come together and we claim our sovereignty as a given from by the people. So you no longer need to go through what you had the seed you had planted before by opposing the old systems and giving them your sovereignty papers, working your way out of the birth certificate and taking back your ownership and taking back your claim. None of these things we will need to do anymore. You can jump from those. Those were very important to get us here, but you can jump right from that and just all the people band together and just say, no, all of your birth certificates, all of that nonsense, it doesn't apply to us. And we create this up here. And very quickly, everything that they have done with the Vatican and all of the systems in the past, it just fades out of existence. So you don't need to directly go in and try to free yourself from the systems like everyone was doing. You actually just join with the people to create our own system, then this goes out of existence. So this is the key to doing it. You don't need to individually take years and years separating yourself from a system. Right now, when you have the opportunity to create a whole new free system by just the power of the people, you only need the support of the people. And the way that you get the support of the people, you have this simplified new monetary system in people's law that you can write on a few pages, and you let them know they have the choice to support with the people that are growing very rapidly up here in creating the new system. Then you don't need to go through all of the old rigmarole and stringency and red tape at at fighting against a system. You just create this up here with all the people, and you don't need to waste that time with the old system. Romana says creation has no limits. Absolutely. And the power of the people has no limits once they know that they individually have the power to join with others to create the free system. And consumerism, yeah, no more. You don't have that no more. When there's no profit or gain or no debt or any of this, there's no environmental destruction. Also with the mining industries and the fossil fuel extraction, very quickly the technology is coming in that you no longer need these in the way that it was. So you began to clean up the planet. Also, with the primitive nuclear power plants, you no longer need those as well. The technology has been here for, let's say, almost 100 years uh, to create the energy from the air and also from the crystals without getting too deep into that. So once the people have control, then all of this is released. Some of it's being released very rapidly. However, it needs to be shared with all the public, and that has begun to happen as well. Linda Winger says she has heard of some witnessing police officers crying at the rallies. Yeah, so when the police come to their senses, what they actually done and what they're supporting. Yeah, that is the great shame. It is, and it's a great shame for them to burden. But if this is what it takes to get the police out of their jobs, and again, with their careers, the police, they think they need money to survive. They have families, the good ones. But hey, police, come up here, support this with the people, then we're all free. Don't support politicians and governments that don't have the consciousness or the common sense to do the right thing. You know in your heart what the right thing is. And I'm telling you, don't support them. Stand with the people so we get this done. It's absolutely not acceptable for you to be standing there. Leave the job. I believe there was one policeman in New York City, I think it was. He left the force and he gave up everything. And very quickly, the people rushed in, supporting him financially. And so, police, you'll have everything you need. Stand with the people. And this goes globally now. The people are the ones with the power that will support and assure you. Your salaries and careers, it's based on something that is collapsing now. So it becomes nonsense for you to support the government and do what you're doing. You're only making it harder on yourself individually. Everything what you're supporting with governments is coming down very rapidly. Use your common sense and look at all of the people. Look at the growing crowds, the growing protests, the growing demonstrations. Police, you're only seeing a tip of the iceberg, what is actually there in all of the buildings and in their homes. And, with every restrictive measurement that the government puts upon them, they are becoming more ready to stand up too. And you're going to see the protests growing. And in actuality, if you're supporting governments, you're on the wrong side. Leave your jobs, support the people. That is the truth and the full message. And it's your choice what you wish to do, of course, but I'm letting you know what's happening. I'm speaking to the police and anyone that knows them. It's your choice, but you're going to pay emotionally and energetically, for your actions if you don't side with the people. You're seeing this. The people have the power. Let's even, if there's a police from the U.S., watching this, just look at when Trump got into office in 2016. Look at the numbers of the voters, how many voted. And what you're going to see is that only a little over half of the American people in 2016 voted in for any form of government. There was almost half that did not vote. They did not support any form of government. This huge number of about 150 million people, it shows you they were awake then and that they did not support any form of government whatsoever. That was in 2016. As a result of this year, it is the majority of Americans, it is 90%, I would say, right at this time, as a result of what happened, do not support any of this. So, also get with it, all of you police around the world, you know what's happening. Stand with your people. We're seeing some crying, we're seeing some quitting their jobs. We see some just taking off their badges and throwing them in the streets because this is very real. You're given to make a choice what you support. And let me say, it's no way that any government is winning this. It does it with their military or their police because that is all imploding. I was in Egypt and I spoke to an ex-army guy, and he said, if it come that the government would tell the Egyptian army to fire upon its people, they would not. There is a pact that is in there. So, that's a huge statement. So that goes and shows you that, let's say, Sisi with his Egyptian army, it is nothing. He don't even have it because of this. Because in the blink of an eye, if they threaten the people, the military all leaves. So, this is very substantial, and it shows you that the people do have the morals and the ethics to know what's right. And you have these tyrannical leaders and everything that they're doing, they do not go into the future. None of this survives the future. So, any military and police watching this, make your choices now. Make them very wisely. It's not for you to get hurt. We're giving you the information so that you can assist yourself, your family, and many others. You don't want to bring this upon you, what you've been bringing. Having said this, I don't know where the video came from the other night, um, but it showed a small resistance of police that were quickly circled by the people. It shows that it doesn't matter. The people, the numbers are more than the police. And police, you just can't start firing on the people because you know what that does? It makes a lot more angrier. And where are you going with it? It doesn't stop. You start killing people, you're making more and more people angry, and eventually, some of them might get crazy and do something to you. So don't go into that. Just throw down your arms and support the people. You don't want to cause things. You're there to protect the people, not the governments that are imposing these ridiculous things against the people. Okay, I get off on a thing. Okay, so let's get back to this monetary system. Thank you, Christina. Yeah, get in contact with me and spread things, get it all out there. It's going out into many areas, and as I said, what we're doing with this, the governments, like what we're doing by the people, the governments cannot create this. They had the choice, and it's not their agenda. So it doesn't. This is why I put it out fully because it's going to be us, the people that's running it, none of the politicians or any of this. So it would be great if they had it and just did it. That would be good. Then they'd be working for the people. But where they're not just doing this, it shows, where their intent is at. And very quickly, there's so many people that are awakened to know to not to put their support. towards anything less than a free and open, unlimited monetary system. So let's say if there's any remnants of darkness plans by governments, it doesn't work because of this. There are too many awakened, and they have lost their credibility and their trust by what they had just did. And the realization of this, if governments were to quickly say, okay, oh, free money for everyone, the question to say, whoa, how can you do this so quickly when for 100 years you didn't do this? That tells you right then and there, it calls their bluff and it calls what they are. So, no, the people need to do this. The ones in governments, the politicians, everyone knows they cannot be trusted. So, this has to be done by the people. Thank you. Just scrolling, looking to see for some more questions. Ivica asks, what is the time frame for this plan? With this, we don't project a time frame, but let me say, if you just look at how you feel with what I'm saying, and what you've watched here tonight, how easy it is. So, and again, anyone that is just offered this choice, say, hey, join with the people very quickly, everyone's going to accept it. So if you're looking at a time frame, it's going to happen very rapidly, is what I say. I will not put a set time on it because we cannot do that. It depends on how quickly it gets circulated globally and the support is given there, that the people say they give their support to it. So the quicker, the word gets out, the quicker it gets done. But, again, considering the global and world circumstance at this time, you're going to get the huge support for it very quickly. So you just need to get it out there and, let the people know the exact power that they have. And if it takes, Feminine going places speaking and others, we can quickly do that. And, the globe, this is not just me again. There's so many that knows have been divinely informed. Like you've got millions around the planet. So if you get everyone out in countries, millions speaking the same thing all at once, like very quickly it goes. So time frame, I won't put it on it, but I can say very quickly this can happen. One thing I can say is in a matter of under the right circumstance and the right controlling the digital financial system, that in a matter of 2 days, right from this point, Ivica, in a matter of 2 days, um, the majority of the global people would have this money in their accounts. That's how quick it can happen. So we just need the support of the people. So once you have the support of the people very quickly, it's a done deal because you have the support of the majority of the population of the planet. And then it's a done deal very quickly. Couple days, you have ones having the money, and you have everyone working together because everyone is stress free, they're happy, there is no competition with this. You eradicate the competition as well, that there is none in society. You have everyone working together, everything is harmonious, and as a result there is no one working against each other, competing, butting heads. which, it causes stagnancy, what competition does, where there's none of that, especially in the money arena where there's no profit. When you eliminate that, then these ones, instead of working against each other, they're all working together. And very quickly it happens. Okay, everyone, that's enough for this. Great questions and great questions from you and contributions. And it's time to end this for tonight. And what I wish to say, keep your focus on what you wish to create, your energy. Uh, you're aware of what's happening, outside, but also know that at the special time you will be given a huge gift that can be supported by you and we can create. So it'd be great um, to put your energy into that in sharing the word. So anyone watching, the least you can do is share the word. You can say this guy has a concept, and it's building, and you'll see more and more of it, just making you aware of our potential and all of the people. Because again, enough is enough, and you'll hear this globally by the majority of the people. So we have the opportunity to um, gather together and do this now, and I'm not the only one, as I said. So very quickly we can do this. So all together, spread the word, get it out there, and I love you all, and this is for all of humanity. It's for your families, it's for your children to secure their freedom and their abundance and their happiness going forward. Every child upon the planet, uh, we can eradicate poverty, misery, all of those lower conscious savage things that the government's created. And we can just do it by simply all joining together, just giving their vote, saying, yes, I'm in, and we can gather up. Gather up if you need to all of these names, but you don't need to do that. You can just have the support groups all connecting under one umbrella, and we do it. And it's humanity ourselves that eradicate the ages-old insanity and savagery, what was imposed, and slavery, what was imposed upon you. So we do this for our children, for the generations to come, and for everyone, in this now, for your grandmothers, that are in nursing homes and all of this. So everyone we help instantly, and we can do this very quickly by joining together and spread this awareness. And really, as you can see, it's not about us, and this is not about me, and it's about everyone and doing what's right now, and it's about people taking their power back. And I can say again that I can say again that we do have other assistance, and when I say that, off world and higher up, but really the power is here within the people, that you don't even need that assistance, that we can do this and all together. So now is the time to do it, and woo! I love you, love and light. Let's get this show on the road. Enough is enough. And much gratitude to you all. And have a beautiful morning, day, evening, wherever you may be. And with this, yes, God is Creator is very real. And we're in such very beautiful, magical times, and woo, the people have the power. You have the power, as well as I. So I love you. Thank you. Bye now. Until next time.